Hello everybody, welcome back to the 1984 Revolution mod for HOI4. We had a lot of fun in this when we played it last time, and I do believe there is more content for us to now check out. And you know, just as Big Brother is watching me right now, I'm watching you, Timmy. Watching you not hit the like button. Yes, welcome back to 1984, the darkest HOI4 map mod you've ever damn seen. Stare into the abyss, little Timothy, stare into the abyss. What do you see? A rat. Okay, so the last time we gave ISOC a chance, and then we played as the Americans and broke free during the big revolution. But now today, we're going to be playing as a Eurasian Union state. And you may be surprised to know that the Eternal Father, he's still kicking about. The Eternal Father is a powerful and wise leader who shields Eurasian people from the wickedness of Oceania and East Asia, guiding the Eurasian people towards true prosperity and blessing the worthy with eternal life. Now, I'm not too sure what's happening in Eurasia, but I don't think we're actually getting that eternal life. Although saying that is Lenin, and the year is 1984. So maybe he's on a summit. If you'd like to have yourself a bit of lore, I won't read through all of this, but I will slowly scroll through just so you can catch up on where the mod actually fills in a whole bunch of the gaps from the book. There are some interesting things that are in here, specifically the Operation Unthinkable went ahead, and if you can't tell by the fact the Eurasian state actually owns pretty much all of Europe there, it didn't go too well, did it? Now, we do have a few paths. I think I'm actually going to go once again with this one of these Eurasian revolt tags, which is what we did with ISOC, obviously. We played as the revolt tag for the Americans, and I kind of want to go for that second red army down there. But welcome to our glorious state of absolute monstrosity. And let's just see how many troops we start off with here. 649. Any fun generals? Nope, not a single one. Boy, I don't even know what to put you guys. Can't even delete you. Can't make new units in this mod. At least I don't think you can do it off the bat. You kind of have to wait for a few things to happen. But I'm just gonna make a big blob over here. You can hang out there. And we also can't do any research, just like ISOC. So yeah, we have technological stagnation. Things aren't going too well with that eternal life, are they, Lenin? Now, I'm not too sure where the revolt will actually take place, but we're going to start off by assembling the Eurasian Congress. We're all going to get together in one big room where Lenin can look at you. He's totally alive. He's not been puppeted by an elaborate set of wires. Oh, there you go. Look, there's all my the game just lagged a little bit when I selected all those units, but there they go. Ooh, yeah, I like that rework of the national focus being complete there. I enjoy this square box. It's aesthetically pleasing. Also, just want to note that it doesn't burn my eyeballs to look at it either. So it is possible, mod developers, just putting it out there. Eurasia, 1984. Stretching from the Iberian coast to the tip at the Bering Strait, Eurasia stands to dominate in the lands of Europe and the vast territories of what was once Russia. Continuing the legacy of the Soviet Union, Eurasia strives for the liberation of the working class across the globe, vowing to never rest until all the peoples of Oceania and East Asia have been freed from oppression. As the new year begins, the opportunity for Eurasia to evolve and to leave behind the backwards cultures of old have come at last. As the Eurasian Congress assembles, bringing in administrators from across all Eurasia, let us work together to end the dark past of division and bring forth the vision of our Eternal Father. And nothing says celebrating a congress of all our bureaucrats together than obliterating Gorbachev. People won't like this. Obliteration of Gorbachev. Vladimir entered his office, setting his gun down on the table as he approached the seat and sat down. He rubbed the bridge of his nose as he let out a slow exhale. He had done it. He had taken out Gorbachev, the head of the reformist movement within the party, or at least that was what he was supposedly was. It was hard to be sure in this day and age, with every word had multiple layers, where the lines between truth and falsehood continues to blur. Vladimir exhaled slowly, glancing at his desk where he saw a letter. Reaching for it, he opened it up, tossing the envelope away before reading the contents of the letter. He raised an eyebrow as he read about his next target. Some administrator out in the Far East that the powers at be were becoming uncomfortable with. Vladimir hummed a little as he set the letter aside, looking forward to getting away from Capitalgrad for once. And yep, our capital is literally called capital Grad. First things first, we're going to expand our North African domain over here. It also allows them to change their template and also go fight. Can I send volunteers, or are they just kind of on their own? I think they're on their own. But our North African military administration is now going in on the Kingdom of Tripolitania. Oh, the Kingdom of Tripolitania is actually, I'm assuming, an Italian exile government. And yeah, I mean, they had to flee somewhere, I guess. I just realized as well, the Tsardom of Novia Moscow down here, Vladimir, he managed to flee. I was just wondering why in my focus tree I had cracked down on Tsarist rebels, because surely, where would they be hiding? We found it. Well, we've made it down to the new Union Treaty at the bottom here, where I'm assuming we will then expand into a further focus tree. And so far, it doesn't look like our puppet's doing too well over there. They're also fighting the Principality of the Canary Islands as well. I just realized actually they're not a puppet, but they are technically part of our domain, I guess. But the mod developer does not want us to get involved, which is for them. I reckon with the amount of units I have, it wouldn't be too much of a difficult fight. Eurasia Forever, as a finale for the constitutional reforms designed to further centralize the Eurasian Union state into a single state liberated from the old identities and now free to embrace its future as the sole undisputed rulers of all the Eurasian lands. The whispers of the dissidents still persist, clinging on to their old ways in spite of the world moving on from their outdated claims. They remain a lingering thorn in the side of the party. Though the Red Army remains confident in Eurasia's ability to keep these four criminals at bay and keeping stability within the state, it's no small secret that the recent radical reforms were most unpopular. We did, obliterate Gorbachev, and obliterate could mean a lot of things. I do have a feeling we may have strapped into a rocket and shot him into the sun. That's what I think of when you say obliterate. But while mostly unpopular, it will likely create some rebelliousness within the population, especially those belonging to prouder legacies. A storm is brewing in Eurasia, a final obstacle that will cement the new age and allow the neo-Bolshevik movement to prove itself as a righteous guiding hand of the proletariat once and for all. Now we wait. The people will not like this. Ooh, the wrath of the people of Eurasia has been held back for too long. The sting of failures in Afghanistan, combined with the growing unrest regarding internal reforms, has pushed our people to the brink of outright revolt. Already movements of remnants, the protesters and traders have begun staking out territory in the inevitable revolt to come. The Eurasian state may be on the cusp of its darkest hour yet. We must prepare. Oh, and Eurasia has gone into full revolt. Now, we have a few nations we could play as, but the one I want to do is the Kuban military district down here, which I can switch to in my decision. So let's do that. And that allows us to do the Second Red Army, which is exactly what I feel like I want to be doing. As technically the revolt hasn't actually kicked off just yet. We are still under the leadership of the Eternal Father, and so is every other tag that has broken free, but we do get ourselves our new focus tree. Now we're going to start off with the war within. Those steps towards maintaining order over the province have been taken. It seems long expected revolt has come at last. Rebels have seized territory, taken command of cities, organized governments, and are now on the march against our regime with intent to dismantle all that we have worked towards in favor of restoring their failed nations and reviving their outdated cultures. Now, I can't do this until we go to war, which I imagine isn't gonna take too long, is it? Here we go. The revolts are kicking up. The French Revolutionary Republic has gone, and we've also got the Dutch Provisional Government. We're gonna have to keep an eye on who's gonna be winning where here. God, yeah, okay, it's definitely kicking off. We've also got the French state. They've arrived as well. We've got the Yugoslavians and the Holy State of Hellas down there. There we go. Exactly what I wanted. The Stalingrad coup. Field Marshal Yazov, who had been assigned to assist in the government of Kuban military district years ago, has recently shown his true colors. Taking a portion of the army garrison in the region, he has overthrown the regional administration of Stalingrad and has declined the true successorship of the communist regime, stating that the Eurasian Union state has lost its way and has become an enemy to the people and the revolution. This treachery and blatant false deeds that he has spewed out will not go unpunished. He has struck Eurasia at a difficult time, selfishly assuming power for his own gain. He will be made an example of. They all will. I don't think they will, because the Soviets are coming back. From the ashes, a phoenix rises. The second Red Army is here. And now we get our true focus tree, the 2nd October. Once again, we're going to have to fight for our revolution and the freedom of all working people everywhere. Securing our new Soviet Union is going to be a bit of a difficult thing. We've got ourselves a nice little army. I have just rejigged it a little bit there, and our economy ain't exactly great, but we're going to have to go on the warpath. First off, though, I think we're going to go for a bit of a rename from the Red Army there to the Russian Soviet Federative Socialist Republic. And then we're going to go ahead and move into the Black Sea Military District here. I'm going to take advantage of them being busy fighting the White Army Imperial Restoration down here. The army is definitely a little bit ragtag, but what was actually making things pretty easy for us is we do have a pretty decent little air force full of CAS. Still, though, very much a tough fight. We don't have a lot of equipment or troops, so we need to make these encirclements count. Oh, there you go. Just got the entire front pretty much encircled there. They got a couple more units over there, and then whatever they're fighting the Tsarists with, and I think we've got them. There we go. Okay, already looking a lot better just with those guys capitulated there. There's no rest for the wicked. We're also going to have to go secure our southern flank. Our Grand Marshal, the leader that we really deserve, Yazov, secured our southern flank. And now we're going to move into the Dnieper Military District. As you can see, though, it's not just our Eurasian little union that has popped off. It looks like the INGSOC is also not doing too well. We do have the Americans rising up, but the British Isles as well, they actually aren't fighting. I'm not too sure if that's how that's supposed to go, but we do have the Scottish Partisan Group up there. Our glorious Red Army, the new reformed 2nd Red Army, is unmatched. On top of that, we are now actually conquering more economic heartland here, getting ourselves a industrial base that is going to fuel even more conquest. Next decision is going to have us fighting the Eastern European Socialist State, which is going to be a little bit more difficult than the rest, I imagine, although they are kind of fighting the Eurasian state over here, and I think that's also going to put us fighting them as well. Yep, it is. So we've got to take down these two next. Oh, should I just go in? I think I'm just going to go in. Screw it. Let's go. Let's go. Definitely disorganized and not expecting our surprise attack there, but at the same time, the line's looking pretty thin, so we got to spam a few troops out. But our production is getting stronger and stronger, and the Red Army is getting back to its full potential to the glory of Yazov. Capital Grad has fallen and been renamed to its rightful title of Moscow. There's also the fall of the Eurasian state, and look at that, the Russian Soviet Federative Socialist Republic is looking pretty damn strong. We've still got plenty of revolts happening. Some of them have failed, and some have definitely succeeded. There's no time to rest, comrade, because we've got to go east through the steppe and the icy Siberian tundra. The revolution is carrying on. The Siberian Provisional Government over here tried to have their own little despot, but I'm afraid you're gonna have to bend the knee to Yazov. Get the feeling we're gonna have to get pretty far into Siberia here before we get themselves capitulated, which is fine, because in the meantime we can focus on our economy, which, if you can't tell, absolutely huge now. Do actually get events to re-establish Soviet republics as well. I'm gonna wait until I've got everyone that I can invade first, because I do want to make sure that I don't mess up reforming the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics. So USSR will come back. I'm just going to wait until I get Siberia down first, though. And I think Central Asia as well. I think we need those as well. Azov has made his great pilgrimage to the east, and we have made it to the sea. And there you go. They've capitulated. There's no actual peace deals so far, at least not with any of these capitulation events that have happened. They just disappear once they get capitulated and they get annexed into you. But now, before we go ahead and reform the USSR, we've got to take down Central Asia, and we are ready to hit the button. There you go. We've got them capitulated. The Eurasian menace has been dealt with once and for all, and freedom has been brought back to the proletariat. So it's time for us to hit the buttons here and free all of these Soviet Socialist republics so that we can go ahead ahead and reform the USSR. There you go. Yazov has brought freedom back to the people, and we are back with the USSR. Look at that happy chappy right there. The revolutions and rebellions that have engulfed much of the Eurasian provinces of Eastern Europe, Siberia, and Central Asia have come to a conclusion, with the old specter of communism re-emerging in force from the ashes of conflict in Eurasian control under the control of Marshal Dmitry Yazov from the Kremlin in the heart of Moscow. Marshal Yazov has formally declared the return of the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics, with all Soviet republics being formally integrated into the reformed Soviet political structure. The red specter of communism has returned to Eastern Europe, and its gaze begins to turn towards Europe. The red specter returns. Yes, the defeat of the neo-Bolshevist eternal father has put us in one hell of a position to now bring the revolution back. First thing we can do here is establish the Rent International and have our faction be created. It's just me and Iran so far. And whilst this is the end of this path in specific, I don't think I'll be ending it just yet. See, because the eternal father is still holding on in certain places across the world, and that is not going to be okay with Yazov. It's time for us to go ahead, find that clockwork mechanism they're actually perpetuating the Lenin's still alive with, and dismantle it once and for all. But to do that, we're gonna have to open up the console so that we can declare war on people. And yeah, to get over there, I'm obviously gonna need a bit of a land border, so sorry about this, Poland. Yeah, I know you're just enjoying your little freedom there, but you'll get a bit of freedom. Allegedly. So our declaration of war upon the people of Europe is simply because we need to get to the Eternal Father. I do feel like we may end up being in some sort of Groundhog Day scenario, though. Yes, I think neo-Bolshevism might end up coming back. It does appear that these weakened European revolutionary states were not ready for the battle-hardened Second Red Army. Well, I'm not entirely sure how this is actually going to work in terms of peace here, because they are still fighting their revolt state down there. Will it go to them, or is it going to go to me? Or is it just going to whoever owns what at the time? Okay, yeah, it was like a white peace, so because they revolted out of that, that's all they get. You know what? I might be nice here and actually free a bit of land. I can't release any nations, which is you know, a game rule, whatever, but I can return territory. So you go. Look, I'll put the Dutch menace back on the map. Definitely not having as much luck as I had over in the Americas in their little revolution over there. Big Brother is holding on pretty damn easy. I mean, they've made a bit of a breakthrough there, but they've got encircled in a couple places. I'm imagining they might be able to grind them down eventually, though. I'm not sure who's going to be winning that, though, on that in terms of grinding down. A couple places left the Eternal Father is hiding, and I'm going to find that clockwork mechanism any day now. I don't know how you're keeping it together. I'm going to find it. The last bastion of the Eternal Father is now over here in Anatolia, and they stand no chance against me. There you go. The Eternal Father is no more. The Union of Soviet Socialist Republics is here. Freedom has been brought back to the people. The Middle East has never looked safer between me and Saddam Hussein. Is there anyone else I could actually just return a bit of territory here? Just, you know, just to, you know, be a bit nice. There you go. The United Army of Scandinavia and the French Free State have been given their freedom back. Now, sure, I've got one hell of an Iron Curtain, but nonetheless, this is obviously more freedom than the neo-Bolshevism that's ever gave anyone. But I think with that, we are definitely done here. We could go ahead, fight everyone else if we really wanted to, but it's not that type of mod. And on top of that, I don't expect it to really be that difficult. But I was super excited to come and have another look at this mod. That is for damn sure. Had a lot of fun, obviously, rebuilding the USSR. It wasn't obviously a challenge or anything, but I still had a lot of fun doing it. And if you like a mod that's kind of mixed in terms of having a lot of story, but also having a lot of action, I think the 1984 mod is definitely one to look at. I'm definitely going to come back and try out any new paths they may add for nations. In fact, I need to try a few more of the revolt estates for Oceania as well, and actually maybe even do like the English one, which would make sense because we went straight to the US one, which it does look like they're actually winning now. And of course, I will leave the mod linked down down below. Go send them a whole bunch of love and check out the mod yourself, especially if you're a big fan of 1984. This expands into a way that actually fits in HOI4, which I like. And, like I already said, it just offers a good amount of gameplay to what you actually get to do. It is super early, though, in development. They do say that on the mod page, but there is a little, you know, small campaign you can do here and there, and obviously there are multiple paths. There are a few more for the Eurasians that we could have done as well. But for now, and until we come back at a later point, that is all we have to show. So if you enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe down below, and just remember, Big Brother ain't watching, but Yazov certainly is.